My stomach seems to be empty again. When do we eat?
Again with this one. Good performance, but terrible fuel efficiency.
Jude told me that normally the 4 great spirits follow you everywhere. Is that for real?
Yes, but...
No way! So how does it feel to command them?
I'm not sure how to answer that. They've always been with me, so it just feels... normal.
They're always with you, huh? So I guess it's like Elise and Tipo.
Interesting. So Elise may feel the same way about Tipo as I feel about the 4. When you put it that way, the way I've treated her seems quite insensitive.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing. I can't afford to get swept up in sentiment at a time like this.
What I wouldn't do to be in front of a warm fireplace right now.
I'd certainly kill for a nice steaming bowl of stew.
Ooh, you'd kill for stew? For once, I understand exactly what you mean.
Mila, isn't your stomach cold?
It's fine. Oh, mucus!
Looks like you're having fun over there.
I am. The human body is truly a cumbersome thing.
Anyway, who's ready to eat?
This would have been a great secret fort when I was a kid.
Oh, sure is cold. Oh, Elise. You never call me Ellie anymore.
I'm impressed with your ability to handle a different weapon in each hand.
When I was a kid, I was left-handed, so I worked at strengthening my right arm instead.
That shows good combat sense. I imagine you needed special training to learn how to wield a sword with your offhand.
That must have been tough.
No, it had nothing to do with combat, just part of my daily life. You know me, always a girl on each arm. And it would be rude to handle each of them differently.
What? And here I was starting to respect you. I'm leaving.
Are 2 arms even enough for you?
With a woman of your stature, maybe not.
Good. I'd hate for you to think that you can handle me with just one.
Nice one.
All right.
Nice one. I'll break your guard.
My sword rings true.
Careful! Huh? All right!
I'm here!
Demon fish on fire! Demon fish! Demon fish!
I'm ready!
How about an encore?
Let's get going!
Now! Over already?
Shouldn't you wear more clothes, Mila? It's really cold out here.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Attack! Try fire!
Go, Timo! Sharing is caring.
All right!
That hit the spot.
Oh, the soup was quite satisfying.
Yes, the flavor was deep and refined.
Really? You didn't think it was a little bland?
Forgive me for saying so, Alvin, but your palate is too crude to appreciate such a delicate balance of flavors.
My, aren't you the expert?
It must have taken a great deal of effort for the chef to create such a layered flavor profile.
Wow, you're really particular about food.
Indeed, I am. Cooking is something of a hobby of mine.
I would love to try one of your dishes.
It would be an honor to serve you. But the problem is, I use only the finest ingredients, which I insist on growing or raising myself. Naturally, I blend my own seasonings, and all of my recipes incorporate appropriate seasonal ingredients arranged in perfect harmony. But due to my relentless quest for culinary perfection, I have yet to actually complete my first dish.
Sounds like quite the pursuit.
Right on point. I'm
Try
ready.
fire! Please provide support.
Smoke out
Demon
there.
fish! Demon fish!
It's too bad. The battle's over already. I wanted to stay linked up a little bit longer.
Never stop improving.
Right on point. I'm ready.
Try fire! Dragon shot!
Let's smash him.
With pleasure. All right!
It's so cold. Let's do this.
Try fire!
I'm ready.
Try fire!
Get him. Aw, that's it? I think I'm frozen solid.
Achoo! We're all gonna catch colds at this rate.
Oh, a chance to get sick.
Do you enjoy having colds?
This will be my first time. When I had the 4, they wouldn't even let the rain and snow get me wet.
But what if you get a fever?
Ah, I did experience that when I hurt my legs. I felt like my body was burning up.
See? That's why you should try to stay healthy.
But I want to experience the sensation of having continuous nasal discharge.
I doubt that anyone else wants to see that.
It would be funny to see, though. Watch out! I'm here!
All right!
Yay, Jude! Are there more?
Good job, Elise.
Am I too strong? Just the strongest!
Attack! Attack! How about an encore?
Let's keep going! Watch out!
All right!
I'll help too! Please keep them away!
All right!
I'll help too! We're perfectly in sync!
The power of linking.
Or because we're childhood friends! Stop! Stop!
All right!
I'll help too!
All right! All right!
him!
Fire! All right!
I'll help too!
Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Fire! Demon Fist!
Really good job, Cheapo. You can count on me. Ready, Tipo? I'll help too. And we're done. That wasn't much of a challenge. Yeah, I didn't even have time to chew.
Don't choke now, Tipo.
Fire! You're finished! All right! Attack! Attack!
Ready, Tipo?
Demon Type Fire! Demon Fist! Launch! Fire!
Ready! Watch out!
Please provide support! Demon Fist! Kick! Demon Fist! All right!
Be gone!
Over already?
Don't mess with me!
Now! All right!
Yay! Go, Tipo! It's too bad. The battle's over already. I wanted to stay linked up a little bit longer.
Yeah, I guess so.
Attack!
Go get him!
Keep your guard up! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Off the board! All right!
Yay, shoot!
Fire! Wing form! All right! Fantastic! A fantastic victory! Attack! Attack! Demon Fist! Cut fire! All right! Fantastic! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! A fantastic victory! Attack! Forward! Cut fire! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Demon Fist! Hit! Demon Fist! Seven Fist! Demon Fist! Hit! Forward! Demon Fist! Always one step. Far too close. Always one step.
Yeah, he's carrying.
I did it!
Wow. And I thought Shandu was in Hotburg. Look at this place.
The spirit faith is stronger here in Azul than it is in Rashagal.
Whoa, check those out.
That's something you won't see anywhere else in the world. It's one of Canbalar's famous mountain slide cars.
What are they?
Canbalar was built along the peaks of a mountain range. Those slide cars connect the multiple districts together.
Don't they look fun? I bet we could see forever in one of those.
How do we go about meeting the king?
I'll request a royal audience for you when I seek permission to use the wyverns. Don't get your hopes up, though. Many people come to the capital seeking an audience, so you may need to wait a bit. I suggest resting at the inn until I get back.
I bet right now you're trying to think of a way to do things without Jurgen's help. Just try not to make trouble for him, okay? He's a nice guy.
Try to stay away from the eaves of the houses. The snow on the roofs could tumble down on you.
You sure like high places.
Jurgen still isn't back?
Not yet.
Elise, want to do some sightseeing?
Miss Elise, why not join Leia?
Come on, Elise. Gosh, now that Teepo's giving us the silent treatment, I guess I need to pick up the slack.
You talk more than before? Impossible.
Meh. Hey, just because Teepo's gotten quiet doesn't mean you have to. I'd love to hear more about you, Elise, in your own words.
Shut up, Leia. You're the one holding us all back after all.
Huh?
Elise, that was uncalled for. You should apologize.
You must have really crossed the line if Mama Mila's scolding you.
I hate Mila. And Leia, too.
Hey, where you going?
Ouch. That stung a little. Not gonna lie.
Please, do not let it get to you.
I'm fine. We need to get Elise back.
Why are you always fighting without me? Well, if you insist on leaving me out, so be it.
No reason to be alarmed. This is purely a chance encounter, nothing more.
Elise, I'm sorry about before. I can't imagine how lonely you must be without the old Tipo. I know I have a bad habit of opening my big mouth without thinking. Please forgive me.
No.
Come on, don't say that. I'll beg if I have to.
I thought you and Mila were my friends. I hate you. I hate you!
Can't you see that I'm just worried sick about you?
Liar! You don't care about me at all. I don't want to be friends anymore.
Miss Elise, everyone is being kind to you right now because you have them so concerned. You say that you feel hurt, but have you considered your own actions? Do you realize that Tipo's words were just as hurtful to Miss Leia?
I hurt Leia?
Well, hurt is a strong word, but you took the wind out of my sails, that's for sure.
I had no idea.
Why don't you try apologizing to her?
But I said such horrible things.
I am certain she will forgive you if you ask nicely. Forgiveness is the sign of a true friend.
Leia, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?
Sure, but under one condition. From now on, I want you to tell me more about yourself using your own voice.
Huh. You're not the boss of her. You're only 3 years older.
Tipo, stop!
Elise,
Yes?
even if it's only 3 years, I'm still older than you.
Right.
Bossy Leia, scary Leia!
There's a lesson here, child. Never take your friends for granted.
So what do we do now? Jurgen still hasn't gotten back yet.
We could just barge into the castle ourselves.
For the 100th time, let's not cause any trouble for Jurgen.
That's no good? It sounded like a good idea to me.
Tipo, please! Stop saying mean things to Leia!
But that's on you, Elise.
No! I don't want to insult my friends!
But at the bottom of your heart, don't you want to?
No! You're wrong! Don't say things like that! Bad, Tipo, bad!
Hey, take it easy, you two.
But Tipo's been saying horrible things!
It's all right. I don't mind.
Always meddling with us just 'cause you're a few years older.
But I like it when Leia meddles.
Yep, she really does feel that way.
Oh, thanks, Elise. Guess I'll keep right on meddling then.
Jude! We're such great pals!
Hey! Why do you always chomp my face?
As a sign of affection.
I've never seen Tipo get so close with anyone else before.
So that was like a Tipo kiss.
It was? My first kiss was stolen by Jude?
Stolen? That should be my line. I can't believe I'm having this conversation with a puppet.
Don't be coy, Jude.
You have to take responsibility.
Oh, Jude.
Responsibility? Responsibility for what? quite the line.
I guess this king really does listen to his people.
The King of Azul is well known for his charisma. It is said he unified this strife-torn country on the strength of his character alone.
A guy like that is sure to help us.
Charisma only goes so far. If his government is secretly producing children like Elise, then he must answer for it.
Thank you.
Sorry, we were getting antsy.
No, this is actually perfect timing.
Are we good to go with the wyverns?
Yes, I got royal approval. And something incredible happened when I requested an audience for Mila.
What is it?
When I told them your names, they said His Highness was looking forward to meeting you, too. Are you all famous in Rashagal or something?
I don't think so.
Perhaps word of the tournament has reached His Highness. What a great honor for our clan. Anyway, I need to head back to Shandu to ready the wyverns.
Quite the unexpected welcome.
It's not a trap, is it?
I have a bad feeling about this as well.
You do? It beats not getting to meet him at all.
Keeping secrets from us again?
Of course. I have to maintain my mystique for the ladies.
What does he mean?
They say men with secrets are attractive or something. I'm not exactly the right guy to ask.
Come on, let's go say hi to His Highness.
Alvin, we really need you to be straight with us.
Don't worry. I know you've put your trust in me. Considering the size of his country, Gaius's castle is actually pretty modest.
I think that's admirable.
Halt! Citizens seeking an audience with the king are to wait in line outside the castle.
We were told the king wished an audience with us.
Is one of you Lady Mila?
That's me.
Very well. Please proceed.
What's the holdup?
I don't believe a doll is appropriate at a royal audience. I thought we might leave it here.
You sure?
It's okay.
I'll hold that for you.
Now, let us meet this king.
What are you doing here?
I am Zhao the Immovable, of the Chimeriad.
The Chimeriad?
4 warriors in personal service to the king. To think Zhao was a member all along.
It is a great honor to meet you, former Chief of Staff Ilbert.
Ah, and you are the Ebon Wing of Azul. Wingle the Nova.
You must be the King of Azul.
My name is Gaius, King of Azul. Welcome, Maxwell.
You have requested an audience with the king, have you not? Now please, state your business.
Boosters made in your country have already fallen into Rashigal hands. If a war were to break out between your nations, then the results would be catastrophic for everyone.
Oh. And you came all the way here just to tell me that in person?
Yes, Your Highness.
We're planning to destroy one of Rashigal's weapons, a really big one at that. Once that thing's gone, we know that Rashigal's king wouldn't dare declare war on you. In fact, we hope that you might, help us?
Is there anything else?
Yes, there is one other matter we'd like to discuss. It is in regards to the booster laboratory within the Royal Hunting Grounds.
Is it true you once abducted orphans for this facility, and then you performed experiments on these children?
Well, I didn't see that one coming. What does any of this have to do with you, Spirit?
I am Maxwell. It is my duty to protect both humans and spirits alike.
Really? Spirits protecting humans? Now that is quite an interesting tale.
You forsook your duty as king, and then you toyed with the lives of your own people, didn't you?
The laboratory is entirely my responsibility. It was a haven for those children. They would have died without it. You imagine it as a mad scientist's lab, but I assure you the experiments were entirely humane.
You expect us to take your word for this?
But I was...
This girl, she was that test subject?
Yes, she was.
Even in Hamil, Elise was forced to live in a tiny room. Don't you consider that
cruel?
Well, yes.
Tell me something, boy. Have you ever considered what it takes to achieve happiness?
To achieve happiness?
Yes, to try and live a satisfying life. How do you think one can achieve that? Do you even know?
Well...
It takes freedom to make your own decisions, and to form your own beliefs.
Exactly. It takes freedom.
Well, I disagree. When a man loses his way in life, the ground beneath him starts to slowly crumble until there is nothing left.
What do you mean, nothing left?
A man who cannot find his way becomes trapped. The more he struggles, the deeper he sinks into uncertainty. True happiness comes from following a noble path across an entire lifetime without getting lost. My country does not produce failures. It is the king's duty to show his people the proper path. I must keep them from becoming completely trapped. Now, let me tell you in no uncertain terms why I've called you here. Maxwell, I know you stole the key from the laboratory in Rashigal. Now hand it over immediately.
No, I won't. The key was not meant for human hands. When faced with the power that can destroy the entire world, no human can control him or herself.
It seems as though you haven't heard a thing that I just said, Spirit.
Something about royal guidance and noble paths. I've heard it before. You humans never change. I've watched you for 2,000 years.
All right. Then why don't you just tell us where the key is?
What?
Alvin! What are you doing?
But you can't!
Alvin.
Sorry, guys. I'm just doing my job.
Alvin, who did Maxwell entrust the key to?
The handmaid Ivor. He's probably sulking back in Nia Khera as we speak.
Al, what are you doing here?
Hey, Pressa. Long time no see.
Pressa, what is it?
Ignore them. Give your report.
The Rashigal army has invaded Hamil.
What did you say?
I'm afraid the casualties are high. Those not killed were captured. They were then sent to Rashigal. We also found evidence that the power of a great spirit was used upon the village.
A great spirit? But no one has successfully summoned the 4 great spirits for 2 decades.
Impossible. I would have known if the 4 great spirits had been released. Could it be the Lance of Kresnik? Is it possible that Nautical has made a new key?
If that's the case, then we're declaring war. Send word to all the clans. I am going to crush anyone who dares to harm my people!
Well then, we will no longer have any need for the likes of you. But if His Highness were to have the Spirit Maxwell as his captive, even the unruly clans would be forced to bend their knees.
Miss Elise.
Tipo, no!
Well, don't just stand there! Come on, run!
Capture Maxwell. Recover the test subject.
Mission accomplished!
You knew that we'd have to escape, so that's why you left Tipo with the guard.
Yes, I knew that it would end up being Mila who treated with King Gaius. And when Mila fully expresses herself, well, I figured something would happen.
I see why you were cautious.
Yep, just as predicted.
Oh, I know what that's called. That means Mila's a troublemaker.
Yo, Mila! Did you hear the whole thing?
I can't deny the truth of your words, but there is one thing I'd like to add. By that definition, wouldn't Tipo be a troublemaker as well?
I guess that's...
What? You're not gonna defend me?
Always one step ahead.
We're perfectly in sync.
The power of linking.
Or because we're childhood friends.
Watch out! Fire! All right! All right! You're so mean! Provide support. All right!
I'll help too!
Over already? Attack! Attack!
So, Alvin really was a big fat liar.
I assumed he had his reasons, but this time he took it too far.
Stupid traitor, let me at him!
Why would he betray us like that?
I'm afraid even I can't read his mind.
How could he do this to us? He better not show his face around us again. won't open.
If we can reactivate the 5 control stones, we may be able to unlock the gate. Pour your mana into the stones until they glow red.
Just like at Fort Gandala.
The gate will not unlock, however, unless we all activate the stones at roughly the same time.
Wait, I've never done anything like this before.
Don't worry. Just use your mana as you would when casting an art.
There's no time. We've only one chance.
Let us begin.
Uh-oh.
Done.
Already?
I'm finished too.
Same here.
I did it. Come on, come on. I'm so sick of holding everyone back. Why? Why can't I do it? Mila!
Leia, relax.
I'm not good enough for this!
Quit thinking you're inferior to anyone here.
Thanks.
You can do this. Let's continue.
Okay. Yes!
Hurry up, you two!
Nobody leaves me behind at a party.
Pressa, was it? If you've been Gaius's henchwoman all along, then you've been after us ever since we escaped Fenmont.
Al sold you out to His Highness way back in Nia Khera.
He was on your side the whole time.
Hardly. That man's no ally.
Huh?
I'll leave our relationship to your imagination. All I'll say is this. Al drifts from one group to the next like a ship without a compass. Trying to plot his course is impossible. Serves you right for trusting him.
It's obvious that the Lance of Kresnik is the greatest threat if war breaks out. Surely Maxwell realizes this.
Your territorial squabbles are of no interest to me. My only concern is keeping that thing out of human hands and preventing a miserable end for us all.
So high and mighty. It's time someone broke your arrogance.
Enough! You didn't become a veteran of countless battles through meaningless bloodshed. Has your youth gotten the better of you?
Don't lecture me on age, Ilbert. Your ways are old. Therefore, you falter. And then you flee.
What just happened?
A sudden burst of mana.
He has a booster!
Why? Who are you?
Elise, Saibon Punyukaida, Chiyaudai Sevon Preyande.
What? Is that Longdao?
Sohun Susu Maxwell. Wizun Kichiodo. Why? What the hours wanda?
I warn you, he's quite strong like this.
Can't understand a word he's saying, though.
No matter, feel like he's dancing enough. Once we're all finished with you.
Queen's Fall!
Let me feel it.
His hair completely changed.
And his speech, too!
As mana dramatically increased, there can be only one reason, a booster.
That wasn't too bad.
What now?
Still want to play, do you?
Wait!
Don't try to stop me.
No, look!
I suppose our time is up.
Running away again, Ilbert? It's because you ran last time that King Noctigal ended up the way he did.
Is it true Hamil was attacked?
I'm surprised that you would care. The people of that village treated you horribly.
It's true that we were bullied a lot.
But there was a man who gave us fruit, and a woman who put a blanket over me so I wouldn't get cold. They didn't deserve to have horrible things happen to them.
I see.
And having a great spirit running wild would be so scary.
It was the Rashigal army that attacked, right? Why would they do that?
I don't know. It seems we'll have to head to Rashigal to find out. And more importantly, to ensure the tragedy of Hamil is not repeated.
Yes.
Why are you always fighting without me? Well, if you insist on leaving me out, so be it.
So Zhao is one of King Gaius's henchmen.
One of 4. They're called the Chimeriad, because each member embodies a different weapon of the Chimera. Wings, horn, stinger, and fangs. I've heard rumors about them.
Like what?
It isn't public knowledge, but 2 years ago, hostilities broke out on Shrade Island. Rashigal sent 120 elite soldiers, but the rumors say they were wiped out by 4 enemy agents.
4 people defeated 120 soldiers?
Sounds like we shouldn't wake the beast.
Careful. Word of our altercation in the capital may have preceded us.
How was your audience with the king?
I'm sorry, we'll have to talk later. Can we depart right away?
Well, I guess that's possible. You in some kind of hurry?
Yeah! The king's men are hot on her!
No need to rush off.
Alvin?
They're on a wild goose chase in the mountains right about now.
You threw them off our scent? Is this some kind of peace offering?
What? It's only natural I helped you. We're friends, aren't we? Come on, you don't believe me? I know you've put your trust in me before. Would it kill you to give me another shot?
I guess not.
Attaboy.
Welcome back. I'm glad that you're safe.
Thanks. You almost sound sincere.
If nothing else, it seems that Alvin has bought us some time.
I'd ask what's going on, but I don't think I want to know. You people sure have a lot of drama in your lives. I'll be in front of the Wyverns. Come see me when you're ready to fly.
It's finally time.
We'll saddle up as soon as we're ready.
Right.
When did my hands get so covered with blisters and scars?
Ah, that's quite a layer of calluses forming around your knuckles.
Yeah, probably from all the people I've hit.
Didn't you want to be a doctor? That's kind of ironic. Do you regret this?
No, these calluses are proof that I'm striving to do the things I need to do.
That's the spirit. They prove you're no quitter.
A man's hands always reflect the path he's walked in life. You have the hands of a true man.
Your calluses are the coolest!
I'm going to keep fighting until I have calluses too.
Thanks. You guys are the best.
I am beat. Come on, let's get a room for the night.
Are you okay? You look pale.
I'm fine. I just keep thinking about Hamil.
What happened there isn't your fault. You should try forgetting about it. I guess that's easier said than done. Maybe it would help to go see Hamil for ourselves.
Are you ready to head for Fenmont? You can't possibly land right in Rashigal's capital. You'll probably have to touch down on a high road nearby, or find some other suitable spot.
No, not yet!
It's amazing.
It's so pretty. Wow! It's sparkly!
What the hell is that?
It's so huge! It's right on our six!
Everyone, dive!
Watch out!
Alvin, are you okay?
No time to chat now, kid.
You'll pay for what you did!
guard. We're fending against the ruler of the skies. This will not be easy.
Dragon shot! Dragon shot! Dragon shot! Dragon!
All right, we beat the King of the Skies!
That makes me the new ruler.
Should we call you Queen?
On second thought, forget it.
Please, no one panic! Women and children, seek shelter in your homes! All able-bodied men, to me! Ellie, what are you doing here?
I'm home.
Young madam.
Rowan? Everyone's back?
Good to see you again.
Nice to meet you. I'm Leia.
Hi.
I'm sorry to alarm you.
I heard all the commotion. I thought Azul was invading.
You okay? You took a tough hit when you saved me.
Seemed like no big whoop at the time, but now it's really hitting me.
Help us carry him. Does it look like it'll heal?
My lady, I'm just a horse trainer.
Which makes you the most qualified to help.
Young madam, please forgive me for the heavy burden I placed upon you when I left Sheraton.
Isn't that Ilbert, the former chief of staff? He was a tactician for the Rashagal army, you know.
Really? And he's on our side? That's great.
All these rumors of war have everyone on edge lately. Let's head back to the manor before we cause any more commotion. The horse trainer says the wyverns need some time to recuperate. You all should rest here in the city while you can.
That may be for the best. We're on the eve of a great battle, after all. Everyone should get as much rest as they can.
Huh?
What's wrong? You look as if I just spoke Long Dao.
Mila's making perfect sense. We have had little rest since our departure from La Ronde.
And you could use some time to gather your thoughts.
As you say.
Thinking about Noctigal? Maybe this is none of my business, but how did you get mixed up with him?
We first met when Noctigal joined the army as an officer. He wanted to serve, despite his royal birth. He and I were assigned to the same division. We fought in many battles together. We earned promotions and glory. That sort of thing builds a bond between men. We were truly brothers in arms. It was a glorious time for both of us. However, Noctigal's growing influence began to threaten the power of his two elder brothers. The older princes ostracized Noctigal, even as they feared him.
I know what happened next. The sleepless night we all learned about in history class. That brief civil war erupted when the late king passed away before naming a successor. The 6 ruling houses and the lesser nobles split into 2 factions. It was the biggest political upheaval in modern Rashagal history. And it lasted until Noctigal slew his 2 older brothers with the help of the military. He was a war hero after all. For 2 days, the people rallied behind Noctigal and his new regime.
Noctigal may have won the struggle, but he lost something dear to him. He lost his only ally in the royal family, his beloved sister, Princess Carrie. It hit Noctigal hard. He was overcome with grief.
They didn't teach us that part.
He expanded his totalitarian control once he became king, and there was no one left to check his power.
Not even you?
Many pinned their hopes on me to act as a moderating influence on the king. I chose to leave the army instead. It has been a difficult decision to live with.
You shouldn't blame yourself. It's not even really Noctigal's fault. His brothers caused all this.
I agree, which is precisely why I failed to recognize when Noctigal began to stray from the just path. We turned our eyes away from our duty, he and I both, despite knowing that doing so would cause many of our people to suffer. In contrast, the King of Azul has never wavered from doing what must be done.
You may be right. Despite both being kings, Noctigal and Gaius definitely left different impressions on me.
The people no doubt see King Gaius as a superb ruler.
He kind of reminded me of Mila, to be honest.
An astute observation. They do share two things in common. The will to do what must be done, and the conviction to do it for the sake of others.
It sounds like they go hand in hand.
Yes, I believe all truly strong people possess those two virtues. But Noctigal's convictions became warped, and I lacked the will to stop him.
And I'm not saying you will. But if you decide not to fight Noctigal, I wouldn't blame you.
Thank you. Would you mind leaving me with my thoughts? I will make my decision before it is time for us to leave.
What's wrong?
Tiba won't call me Ellie like he used to.
Well, hey, Elise. You seem glum.
Well, how about finding other people who can get close enough to call you Ellie?
You mean get closer to you and Mila?
Yeah, Tipo should too.
Really?
Hey, it's not like I have lots of friends or anything, but I have enough to know they're pretty priceless. And the best part of friendship is sharing new experiences together.
Jude sure is a smarty pants.
Well, I am an honor student. I just think it'd be nice if we all got to know each other better. Don't you think so?
Yes!
Don't creep up on a girl like that.
You okay? You look down in the dumps. You shouldn't push yourself so much. You weren't the healthiest kid, you know?
Do you have to keep reminding me? It's been ages since I've been sick.
I know, but I still can't help but worry.
I still appreciate it. But I'm worried too.
About what?
That do-gooder nature of yours. In case you've forgotten, it's what got us into this mess.
Maybe you shouldn't have come in the first place.
I'm here for my own reasons, thank you.
Like what?
Those Spyrexes are trouble. I want to destroy them.
Because Mila said so?
That's part of it. But I've actually seen one before.
Seriously?
It was a really long time ago. I know how terrifying those things are. Why are you trying to destroy the Spyrexes in the lands of Kresnik? Because Mila said so?
No, that's not why. If you need a reason...
You don't have one?
I do. I just rather keep it to myself.
All right. You know, destroying the lands of Kresnik is the last thing on our to-do list.
Huh?
What are your plans afterward? Will you head back to Fenmon and finish becoming a doctor? Or will you come home to Larand?
I haven't had a chance to decide yet. One thing at a time. We just need to finish what we've started.
Yeah. You're right. Let's finish this job together.
You got it. I wonder what Mila's going to do when this is all over. All healed up?
Don't worry about it. It was my slip-up.
Yeah, but still.
Huh?
You having problems casting spirit arts lately? I failed like 1,000,000 times by now.
You too? It's like the spirits aren't even there to help us anymore.
Just like back at Fenmont. I bet this is the Lance of Kresnik's influence.
Hey, this guy's saying the spirits are disappearing, and it's the King of Rashagal's fault.
You shouldn't joke about such things. The spirits would never leave us.
Honestly, do you get a kick out of spreading tall tales?
They don't believe me.
Of course not. You can't just tell them something like that out of the blue.
I guess I'm just a shady guy. The townspeople don't trust me, and neither do you.
Hey, that's not true.
Oh? I save your life, and suddenly you trust me again?
You're still a big fat liar. But a trusting one. Throughout this whole trip, you've never doubted a thing I told you. Even when I said the spirits had disappeared, you believed me on the spot.
Because it's the truth. When someone uses a Spyrix, spirits die. It's cause and effect.
What are you trying to say?
Well, it's no skin off my nose if spirits wink out of existence. But it's another story if the result is we humans suffer.
But spirits are living things too.
Listen to you. You're sounding more and more like the great Maxwell every day.
That wasn't the point. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not trying to. I just mean you've finally started talking like a bona fide grown-up.
Huh? Like Mila, huh? I wonder if I can protect humans and spirits too. Thanks.
Times like this, I miss being a kid. Life was so simple.
I never thought we'd end up back here again. It seems like forever ago that you were injured.
Have you figured out your mission? What you must do?
I just want to help you out.
I see.
But that's not all. I want to protect the spirits as well. You go to such lengths to protect humans, so it's only fair that I become strong enough to protect spirits too.
You will strive to be our protector. A bold statement. Maybe I've been wrong about humans after all. I never imagined one of you wanting to protect our kind, let alone making it his mission. I'm almost speechless. I've never felt this happy. Now I really must destroy the Lance of Kresnik, for all our sakes.
That reminds me. What are you planning on doing after you've destroyed the Lance?
Destroying the Lance and the Spyrex devices is merely one facet of my mission here. My whole reason for existing hasn't changed.
So you'll return to Nia Khera and live the way you did before?
Most likely.
But with Exodus around, won't your life still be in danger?
Also likely.
What you need is a bodyguard, someone to watch your back.
Are you offering to stay with me?
Is that possible?
If that's what you decide to do, then you should do it. I'll need to create some story to keep you by my side.
Really? Thank you.
It's the least I can do. You're the reason I'm standing here right now, preparing to fulfill my mission. I'm the one who should be thanking you.
Huh? Oh, no, you don't have to do that. We haven't even gotten to the real fight yet.
Good point.
Oh, just the pair I was looking for. Your wyverns have fully recovered.
Let's return to the plaza.
Okay. Where's Alvin?
He hasn't shown up yet.
He's probably figuring out his next lie.
That's not true.
What does everyone else think of Alvin? Would you feel safe going into battle with him?
He's just trying to help out his mom, right? I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
I worry he himself will be unable to deal with that way of life much longer.
Don't forget, Alvin was the one who saved me from the bad guys.
What do you think?
We'll need to keep up our guard around him until he reveals his hand. He remains trustworthy in battle, at least.
No, it's not polite to talk about someone behind his back.
I don't care.
What can I say? You guys are my only allies.
That makes everyone. Let's be off.
Please wait.
Rowan, are you really gonna fight with your old buddy?
It is my fault that Noctigal became the man he is. I am prepared to fight him when the time comes.
You have our support.
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you.
I've got your back, too.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't worry. I'll pick up your dentures if you drop them, Grandpa.
Please do.
What, no pithy retort?
I guess that means we're all ready.
Let's make our final preparations before setting off.
Elise, what happened? You're tottering all over the place.
I was staring at the windmill, and now the That man in black suddenly started speaking some weird language.
That was Longdao, the language of the clan that used to rule Azul.
Do you speak it?
Not really, but I can understand it to some degree.
But what made him abruptly start speaking like that?
It appeared to be some sort of battlefield transformation. A side effect of his booster, perhaps.
Does that mean I'll start speaking some weird language too?
Then you wouldn't be able to talk to anyone.
Relax, that won't happen. His booster is totally different from Tipo. And if you did start speaking some weird language, I would totally learn it so we could still talk.
Thank you.
Are you good with languages, though?
Well, that's beside the point.
As I always say, it's the gear that makes the man. Well, after one scarf, of course.
That's your priority?
Fun!
The wyverns weren't as scary as I thought they'd be.
I'm just glad they didn't eat you.
Huh.
Too bad they didn't eat Alvin the traitor.
Oh, did I forget to mention wyverns only eat children? But they don't eat their flesh. They nibble away at their souls, so gently that the kids don't even notice. While you were enjoying soaring through the sky, most of your soul could have been chewed away.
That's a lie. That's total nonsense.
I was right to be afraid.
They make it too easy.
Wow. The scale of the spirit arts that must be required to keep this many windmills spinning boggles the mind.
As a servant of House Cheryl, may I ask what your business is here?
Oh, certainly. Forgive my intrusion. I was just observing the spirit arts that you use to turn the windmills.
Turn the windmills? What is he talking about?
I think I'll let Professor Jude field this one.
Well, the wind that makes Sherrilton's windmills turn comes from channeling spirits. The spirit arts are cast in a way that amplifies wind flow throughout the entire city, and the enhanced wind power is funneled toward the windmills that need it.
Remember, kids, this will be on the final.
Fascinating.
Wow, you really know your stuff. Hey, I don't suppose you'd be willing to help me with my research.
What are you looking into?
I'm studying spirit climb changes and how they're affected by spirit art usage. My plan is to gather data from Sherrilton with its heavy usage of spirit arts and compare that to data from Burmia Gorge, which has high levels of spirit climb variability.
That's an interesting idea.
I'm pretty interested myself. I say we help out.
Very well.
Great. Okay then. Could you use this spirit climb examination art at Burmia Gorge's highest point? This research could significantly impact the future of Riza Maxia. I appreciate your help with it.
Thank you for everything.
Please return home safely. For my brother as well.
You have my word, young madam.
Then let's be off. I believe we just need to follow this road to reach Fenmont.
Yeah, let's go.
And the walking begins.
I'm sure you can see why it wouldn't be practical to ride the wyverns into Fenmont.
You'd get spotted right away!
Yes, there'd be no avoiding a battle, and civilians would get dragged into it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But is it really okay to leave the wyverns alone like that?
They shouldn't have anything to fear from the monsters.
Because the monsters are their friends?
Oh, no. The wyverns may look docile, but they can be quite tough when they need to be. Monsters aren't their friends. Monsters are their food.
Really? Oh, I was right to be afraid!
Whenever I enter a place like this, I can't help but imagine someone blocking off the other end.
All that training's paying off.
Maybe it's time for a black belt.
Huh?
Oh dear. Jude, your clothes are torn. Please hold still for a moment. Be done in just a jiffy here.
Wow, as good as new. Thanks.
Nice job. Those are Jude's best clothes, you know. He spent days fretting over exactly what to get. He bought them for his move to Fenmont because he was terrified he'd look like a country bumpkin.
That's surprisingly adorable of you.
Go right ahead. Blab all my secrets.
That's a fine story. Please take good care of them.
How did you get to be so good at sewing anyway?
I learned it when I was in the military. Originally, it was just so I could sew up the lips of any of my men who leaked vital information. After that, I took up needlepoint as a hobby. Oh, that's such an embarrassing story, though. Let's keep that a secret between us.
Guess that's one secret she won't spill.
Be gone!
Ah, what a relief. I should have known things would be fine at the manor.
Yeah, Drissel really kept things together.
Oh, I knew Lady Drissel would do fine. I have great faith in her strength of spirit.
Then what were you so concerned about?
I couldn't stop worrying that I had forgotten to shut off my bedroom lamp.
You were that worried about a lamp?
What if I had caused a fire? I couldn't get the thought out of my mind.
I can relate to that. Once the worry sets in, it never leaves. Ever since I left home, I've been wondering if I remembered to close the lid on my bottle of dried gels.
I certainly hope you did. Dried gels swell up and burst if they absorb too much moisture.
Maybe I should send a letter home and ask Dad to check.
We're on our way to pick a fight with a king, and this is what keeps you up at night?
Is fighting the only answer?
All right! I can't stop!
Attack!
Be gone!
Huh? Is it me, or did it suddenly get all dark?
That's the night climb. We must be close to Fenmont.
Huh? 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 Be gone! Attack! Huh?
What's going on?
Hey, look!
Isn't that...
The lab!
The Lance of Kresnik is in there. Let's go.
Back in Fenmont at last.
All thanks to you and the others.
Can you believe this is where we first met? That feels like forever ago.
I suppose it does. This probably isn't something I need to say again, but...
I know. There's no time for waxing sentimental.
Right.
You know, it is a mercenary's job to fight. Remember that whole...
Are you okay? Mr. Eldon?
Doc. Dr. Jude?
Lie still. You're hurt pretty badly.
Listen to me, Doc. She tricked us. One of the researchers was actually an Ajul spy. When I tried to arrest her, she blew up the entire testing chamber.
We'll carry the wounded to the hospital. Come with me.
It sounds like Gaius is making his move.
We can't waste any more time.
You know, it is a mercenary's job to fight. Not that I mind getting paid to twiddle my thumbs. Now what? Doesn't sound like knocking will get us in.
The Lance of Kresnik is just beyond this door.
There's got to be another way in. Let's look for it. What was that? What?
You okay?
I don't know anything. I'm sorry.
Isn't she?
It's the mayor! Hang in there!
The mayor of Hamil? They did say that the Rashigal army invaded the village.
All the villagers froze and solid. No! No!
Hey, come back to us. Don't give up.
Oh no! Mayor!
It's Professor House all over again.
The villagers were frozen solid? What could that mean? Is this what Gaius's henchwoman meant when she said the power of a great spirit?
This woman was knocking on death's door. She might have been delusional.
Either way, this is unforgivable.
I wonder if it'll work the same. Are you thinking about the mayor? I understand how you feel. My teacher at school was killed by that same awful machine.
It's not that. It's that I'm not actually sad at all.
Is Elise a heartless monster?
Elise. Do you think she got what she deserved?
Of course not. The mayor suffered horribly. What happened was so awful.
Would a heartless monster get so mad about what happened to the mayor? Would she shed tears over it?
No, I guess not. We have to destroy that stupid lance.
Can this contraption help us?
It might let us look in on the lance. Here's the video feed.
That's remarkable, Jude.
There's nothing there.
Huh?
The Lance of Kresnik is gone. Did that explosion destroy it?
Surely it would leave some wreckage behind.
Perhaps the lance was moved before the explosion occurred. That's the only logical explanation.
But moved to where?
Mila, look. I found a recording of what happened. Is that the spy Mr. Eldon talked about?
That girl. She's the one from our last visit.
You're right. She was the one that attacked us.
Hey, what she got there?
It looks like someone discovered her ruse, so she detonated a bomb.
But isn't she a Najul spy? If I were in her shoes, I wouldn't risk my life like that even if my cover was blown. In the game of espionage, a dead body can still provide valuable intel.
Then how about this? Maybe she planned to blow up the lance all along, and Mr. Eldon finding her was just a coincidence.
If Jude's theory is true, then it's likely that the girl didn't know the lance had left the facility.
That means she's now either on her way to the location where the lance was taken,
or trying to find out where that location is.
In either case, we might find out something if we can catch her.
According to the timestamp on the video, the explosion only happened half an hour ago.
Then she's probably still in the city.
We need to find that girl.
You went to medical school here, didn't you?
Young students burning with passion, living their dreams. I bet you miss those days.
Not really. We studied and trained all day, every day. I never did anything particularly memorable.
Lame. That is so you.
Even those days of toil will one day be treasures to you.
I would have liked to have gone to school myself.
You should have. Maybe you'd have learned how to behave like a normal person.
Did you go to school, Leia?
Sure did. I was the class vice president.
Then going to school doesn't seem to help with behavior at all.
You might be right about that. Hey, wait a minute! Hey Jude, is that your school?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was. I doubt they consider me a student anymore.
Ever since Professor House disappeared, I've been up to my ears in work.
Where did he go, anyway? And why would he disappear the day he won the Hal Prize?
Something must have happened to him. Just between us, remember how the military came in and searched the school on the day the professor disappeared? When they went through his office, they confiscated every document of his they could find.
So that investigation wasn't related to the warrant out for Jude?
That was their official reason, but I wonder what their real objective was. First, his reward was rescinded without explanation, then everything he ever worked on was confiscated. There's nothing normal about that.
What was the professor even working on?
I heard he was researching a theory that involved using spirits without providing them any mana.
Is that even possible?
Apparently he'd had some success, but I wouldn't get too interested if I were you. If you stick your nose too far into it, you might disappear too.
Come on, don't say things like that.
So that means Professor House was researching something similar to the Lance of Kresnik.
What are spirits? You could say they're an invisible presence that permeates our entire world. You could say they're the font of spirit arts, feeding off the mana from human mana lobes. You could say they're the guiding hand that turns the wheel of all existence in Res Maxia. In other words, the symbiotic relationship between human and spirit is at the core of every facet of our lives. But we don't know when this relationship began. How did humans and spirits relate before our modern spirit art culture? What was the world like then? It's hopeless. Once again, the sun is setting without any answers in sight.
This is Fenmont? The sun never rises.
What do you want to do today? I'm thinking of heading to the marketplace.
Back in Fenmont after a 5-year absence. I never imagined my return would be like this.